Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Twin Peaks Season 1, Episode 8 is the season finale of Season 1. It is called The Last Evening. Full spoilers for the episode, as always.
I have a major complaint with this episode.
Oh really? No
Not,
donuts.
not enough food.
Yeah, no donuts, yeah.
just right off the bat, not enough food.
Took me 1 second, but I got there.
Yeah.
I got there. There was a lot of death instead.
There was.
There was
And,
murders.
I can appreciate that.
There was killings and things of that nature, which is, I guess, the main event of the episode. So where do we start? I say this every single time. I'm like, where do we start? There's always so much. Where do we begin?
I think it doesn't help that it just runs on. There's no natural starting point because it's just run on from the previous episode.
Yeah, everything just continues from last time.
Especially in this, where it's even more directly, where we pick up like in the casino exactly where we left off.
Yeah, we pick up in Jacoby's office with Donna and James, exactly where we left off. So, alright, let's start there. They get the tape. They suss out the coconut. They find the necklace. Listen to the tape. She mentions on the tape. Laura mentions the red Corvette.
Yep.
And she makes it kind of clear that there's another mystery man who has almost killed her before, but she's gotten off on it. She's into it.
Yeah.
So the red Corvette's not news to us, but it is news to them.
Yeah.
But it's not even news to Cooper and that. Cooper and that have known about the red Corvette. So so when James goes to the police station later and they've gotten the message from Bobby, who they think is Leo, because Lucy got the phone call, he almost has less cards to play in a weird way because they already know about that. Even though it shouldn't matter, it kind of does.
Yeah. In more interesting way, more does, as the tape does, is more clears Jacoby than anything else.
It does, yeah.
Rather than implicate someone new, it kind of helps take him out a little bit further.
Jacoby, of course, who went to find... who we knew it was Maddie, but it was Laura in a wig. Or Maddie in a wig, sorry, but it was Laura, and he thought it was Laura. And we seen someone was watching her last week, and we don't know who it is. And in this episode, they attack Jacoby. It's someone in a mask, got a balaclava on, you can't see the face, complete mystery. And he beats him up enough to give him a heart attack.
Yeah.
And Jacoby goes to the hospital, but he's telling everyone that he saw Laura when he wakes up.
Do you know what, that moment there is musically my favourite moment of the episode? Because as he's looking out at Laura, Laura's theme starts to come in, and it just while he's like looking at her, it's kind of in the background of the scene as well. And then as the person comes in behind him, it cuts out really abruptly and goes into this other thing.
There was a few new versions of themes in this one, actually, now that you bring it up.
There was, yeah.
There was like a new version of the Laura theme that was more... the piano theme that typically plays, but it wasn't on a piano, it was on like a...
No, it was... Is this the one that was played over the pills?
I think so. It was like... It was still a stringed instrument, but it was like more...
It's like a Celeste or something, I think.
Yeah, it was something a bit more staccato sounding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was just, I was like, oh, that's like a really weird version of the same melody we've been hearing before. But it was sticking out to me. They had a few. It was almost because it was the finale. They thought, let's pay for some new arrangements and get them in and record. Yeah, this was of course before they had, they had synths, but they didn't have the same sort of.
Didn't have the samples.
Didn't have the samples and the digital editing of these things that we do now. So it was more of a let's get the performers in.
It's very costly at the time.
Yeah. Which is probably why actually they just kind of reuse the same like four or five pieces.
It's also why a lot of these TV shows from this period have a lot of synths, because synths were massively cheaper because they had to pay the upfront cost of the synth, which obviously was expensive. But compared to hiring the musicians over and over again, so much cheaper in the long run.
No doubt. Although I feel like given this is the same composer who, because we actually spoke about Mulholland Drive earlier today, there's a video up on the channel just now. Connor watched Mulholland Drive for the first time. You can go check that out. We talked for over an hour about that. I'm pretty sure that's the same composer, and that also has synth in it. And I'm pretty sure when they went to do Mulholland Drive, it wasn't a case of, oh, we can't have a...
Oh, no. Of course,
so
I feel like just a stylistic choice as well.
Yeah, so I feel like here, it kind of is stylistic choice. It's just it fits into that as well. Like the
It may be, ABC may have been like, yeah, sure, synth. That's much better for us.
Yeah, I think, yeah, if it feels like something, because Lynch likes his synth, and I feel like that's probably what he wanted anyway.
Probably.
Because the thing is, today, if a synth pops up in a movie or a TV show now, it's because they wanted a synth, not because they could only have a synth.
Yes. But with TV of that time period, like late 80s to kind of early 2000s, that kind of whole decade or so, a lot of it's as a lot of synth just because it was cheaper in the long run for the studios.
You might be a bit off in your time there, unless you're talking about more soapy stuff, because I'm thinking of all the stuff I've seen from the late 90s, early 2000s, and I can't think of any that are...
Maybe I'm just thinking of more soapy stuff. Like, yeah. I don't know, I think a lot of things I've heard from that period are a lot of synth stuff.
Because certainly stuff like Buffy and Angel, a lot of actual orchestral stuff in there.
I think late 90s you're starting to shift towards back to the orchestral stuff, which is kind of when you get into that stuff there. It's more towards the mid 90s that I'm thinking.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking even something like Lois and Clark, which was more, that was 94 to 97.
Yeah, but that one was one where they're riffing off the idea of Superman, so they couldn't get away from it.
All right, we can't. Okay, sure. Very. So, where were we? We went off on a tangent.
We were talking about Jacoby.
Jacoby. Yes, Jacoby had a heart attack. Yeah, we kind of finished that. Jacoby had a heart attack, and he was telling people that he'd seen Laura, which was making everyone go, huh?
Kind of rightly so.
Yeah, it's the appropriate response. And of course, we mentioned the drugs and the gas tank on James's bike, and we don't really see a conclusion to that. We just see that like you're going to have to start explaining stuff. So presumably James is still at the police station, held up because he's got some explaining to do.
I'd assume so.
So that's that. So let's go back to the casino. Let's go back to One Eye Jacks. A lot of stuff was going down there. Obviously, we left with Cooper met Jacques Renault. He sort of sweet talks him and then pretends to be the money man who gives Leo the money to front the organisation. And he arranges a meeting with him and a sort of sting operation. It gets very awkward because he starts asking about the chip, and he's like, "Hey, you were out in the cabin with Laura and Leo and that," and he gets him to tell the story, and he's just Cooper's like anger and like the obnoxious close-ups of Jacques' mouth as he was telling this horrible story, which involved Laura having sex with Leo and the bird pecking her shoulder, and that the chip got bit because they put the chip in the mouth. And really well done, really, because it really put you in the mindset of Cooper.
It made it feel especially uncomfortable, didn't it?
Yeah, because he essentially felt sick as he was hearing this, but he had to play along and go with it. Which, funny enough, leads to Andy being a hero, because when Jacques shows up and they all bust out and they freeze, Jacques fights off a cop, grabs his gun, he's about to shoot the sheriff, and Andy, who's had some trouble with guns, overcomes this fear. It's almost the best arc of the season.
It might well be.
he pops off the shot and doesn't kill him, he just shoots him in the shoulder. But
you say that jokingly, but it's one of the few complete arcs of the season.
It kind of is, in a weird way. And it then leads to some great comedy as well, because everyone's at the station, Big Ed, Hawk, everyone, and they're telling the story. And Lucy's watering the flowers in the foreground, and she's sort of like, she's been mad at Andy, and she sort of like, she peeks up and she's like, "What's this?" So, "Oh, sounds brave." Like, it shouldn't say anything, but you can see the way she's thinking. Yeah. You can see it in her face.
She's very emotive.
Yeah, and she's doing little high pitched little squeaks like, and she rushes off into the kitchen, and they've got this really weird shutter in the kitchen. But I never noticed they had this.
I'd never noticed it before he goes in and pulls it over.
It's almost like it was meant to be like a like valuables or something were stored, like, and they shut it at night and they could lock it.
Yeah,
like that was the idea, but they converted it into a kitchen, but it still got this shutter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, so they're all like, go on, Andy, go and talk to her, give it a shot. So he goes in and he shuts and they're in this really cramped kitchen now, because it's not a full room, it's like an indent in the wall, but there's a shutter.
Pretty much, yeah.
And they kiss, and then we find out why she's been acting so weird and why she's been so standoffish. She says she's pregnant, and he just freezes, and we linger there for a good 5 seconds or so.
Longer than is necessary.
Yeah, and he just looks terrified, and she goes from like waiting for his reaction to being pissed off by his reaction, and then it just cuts to him opening the shutter and walking out, and then she walks out as well. And it's just the whole thing is just it's everything.
I'll be honest, I didn't laugh more in this episode than when Andy took the shot, and when it cuts to it was him, and I was like, because I think the last time we saw him with guns was the shooting range scene.
Yeah.
So going from that to this made me laugh a lot.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I think the whole thing with the kitchen and the kiss and the I'm pregnant, like it was just a comic timing. It was perfectly paced.
Yeah,
and every part of it was just really funny, which countered nicely to all the murder that was going on elsewhere.
It was nice to still having some of that humour sprinkled in, even in a season final. Yeah.
So back to the One-Eyed Jacks, because we still have Audrey's side of the One-Eyed Jacks. She notices Cooper's there. She sees it on the monitor, on the security cameras, and she gets dressed up for the boss. Whoever owns this place, the boss always likes to sample the new girls, as it's put. And she picks her theme. She makes her pick a card. It's the Queen of Diamonds, and it's sewn onto her dress. She's got a big Queen of Diamonds in her stomach. And then we get a great scene a great little reveal where we find out it's actually Benjamin owns this place, which we never told us before. This was like they kept this a secret purposely for this moment.
Perfect sense at the same time.
It makes perfect sense because we know he's got these criminal connections. He's running all this stuff.
Yep.
And there's this great moment when Audrey realizes she's waiting in the room for the owner to come in and sample her, and she sees in the mirror. She recognizes the voice. She sees it's him. He's like, close your eyes. And that's actually where we leave this plot. This is the cliffhanger for this plot.
Yeah.
For the end of the season, is that he's about to walk into a room and his daughter's there in skimpy clothing.
It's going to be fantastic to see the reactions.
I can see him panicking and Audrey somehow keeping it cool the entire time. And
yeah, I can see him totally flipping.
Yeah. It should be. Oh, I can't wait for that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be glorious. Oh, yeah, that was after all the Icelandic businessman who was very enthusiastic about signing contracts and like, I'm so happy.
I don't understand why they're so happy in general. Like these Icelanders, they've just been so energetic the whole time.
Although Cooper's very happy when he goes back to the hotel and they're not singing. He's delighted.
He is absolutely overjoyed.
And he comes in, he gets the note. He doesn't look at it yet though. He gets a phone call.
Yep.
Which is to do with all the stuff that's happened. Jacques Renault, of course, is killed in the hospital. He is smart. It does give them some information. We hear about the night and that they went up there, and he says that Leo actually hit him with a bottle, and that's where all the blood came from. He tried to use Leo's shirt to patch himself up, but Leo and the girls left him.
Yeah, and they make a point of saying his testimony will be enough against Leo.
Yes. Unfortunately, Mr. Palmer, who hears that there's a suspect at the hospital, decides to take matters into his own hands and smothers him with a pillow. Which I'm surprised actually they revealed it was him. Because up until the final shot of the scene, it was all very... You can just see the gloves and the hat, the arms.
See, I wasn't surprised because I thought it was quite obvious anyway. And...
Well, see, this is why I thought it might not... Like, until they revealed it, I thought, it's so obvious that it's him...
That it can't be him.
That it can't be him, and it's maybe someone who's actually connected to the actual murder.
I get that. I really liked how it shows. Proper like from the moment where he hits the fire alarm, it was kind of shot like a slasher movie. Mm-hmm. Like the way he was kind of stalking through the halls, and I really liked it. It's a lot of fun.
Simple touch I liked. Him taping the because obviously he's got one arm in a cast and a sling that's held up, but it's a simple little thing. He tapes the other hand to the bed before he does it.
Smart.
Yeah, smart.
Thinking ahead.
Not a dumb man.
I mean, he's definitely been shown to be a little eccentric, shall we say. But he's got his wits about him when he comes to murdering a dude.
But anyway, so Cooper hears about this in the hotel, and he's like, can this not wait till morning? Wait, Jacques Renault's dead? And actually, he doesn't say that because he doesn't hear it, I don't think. We hear it on the phone.
He doesn't. Because while he's on the phone, you can't actually make it out. It's just kind of really fuzzy. and he puts the phone down, and it's still fuzzy, the voice coming through it, and it slowly clears up, which I thought was a really nice touch.
Yeah, it was the whole idea that because the receiver's like pointing the camera, we should expect to hear it.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't, in real life, just because it's pointing at you doesn't mean you're going to hear it. But it worked. It was a simple little. It's one of those little things where it's kind of like how when you cheat lighting in a movie, you don't have to. I'm trying to think of an example, right? So let's say there's light hitting someone's face from this side, right? Like mine right now, right?
Yeah.
And let's say I was doing that with a key light, an actual light, a light that you're using to light a movie scene. All you have to do for the audience to convince them that light should be there is have a lamp at the side. Even though the lamp at the side would never light you at that angle.
Doesn't matter, does it?
As long as it's in the general direction, it looks right. It looks fine.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing with this. It's like, even though you wouldn't realistically hear it, because it's pointing at us, we kind of expect it a little bit.
It's the same with sound design. Like bones breaking, one of the most common things is like snapping a carrot. You hear a carrot snap on its own, like away from the picture, you would never think it was that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. When you just because it's there in context, you go, of course that's what it sounds like.
Same with the coconuts for the horses.
Exactly.
For the horses moving, or the paper sliding in envelope for Star Wars doors opening and closing.
Exactly. It's just because you see it with it that you go, of course it's natural. It's the same with the lighting. Well, there's a light there, so of course.
Yeah. So that was some proper movie making talk. A
bit of technical talk there, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah, Door, and he's already said to Diane on the... Which, by the way, he's mailing these tapes back to Diane because he speaks to her as if she's got the last message already. So he's clearly sending these off.
Well, because she sent him the earplugs.
Yeah.
So she's listening to them as well, the poor woman.
How much money is he wasting on post? Every day, these tapes going back and forth.
I know, and the poor woman has to sit there and listen to them and then go, fine, I'll send you some earplugs.
Oh, God. I tell you what, this is one thing the new series can get away with easily because, we get the internet, everything's instant in terms of messaging.
Yeah.
It could be, hell, it could be a Skype call on his phone now. We can see Diane.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
It's like, hey, Diane, she'll just be like, what is it now, Cooper? And it'll be this poor old woman. Unless maybe it's a different woman. Maybe it's like a younger Diane.
What I want is for him to ring on the Skype call or whatever it is, and her just not answer one time and be like, God damn it, Diane. Just get really infuriated. And then just talk into it anyway as if she was there.
Oh, God. The possibilities for this new series now. By the way, did you see the release posters for it this week?
They did, I saw, because it was Twin Peaks Day, apparently.
It was the day that Laura Palmer was murdered.
Yeah, I saw.
So they released the two new posters. One was the original photo of Laura, the famous one that's always been used for everything. But it's sort of like faded out over the trees of the town.
Yeah.
And then the other one's the same, but with Cooper, but it's present day Cooper. It's old man Cooper.
It's a little bit harsh.
Oh, so I don't mean any disrespect to Kelvin MacLachlan, but he's 20 years older.
Yeah.
25 years older, actually. But yeah, he answers the door. We've spent a long time getting to the point of this scene.
We really have. And it's like the final cliffhanger scene as well.
Yeah. So he goes to open the door, and classic TV cliffhanger moment. We see a glove, hand, gun, bang, bang.
Shots.
Shoot a couple of shots, cut to thing. And to be continued even comes up.
I know. And it's the only death or presented potential death, because there's a few others of the episode where we know for a fact that he survives.
Oh, of course.
Me and you know.
Oh,
just from outside knowledge.
Just from the fact that we know he's. I just said he's in a poster for the
exactly.
Series. Like,
it's only from that makes me go, okay, for certain he's alive. There are other ones where maybe if this new show wasn't coming, I might question it.
Well, I feel like I would be like 90% sure Cooper wouldn't be dead, just because he's Cooper.
I'd expect him not to be, but then
we know for
they'll never
sure.
be quite sure.
But we know for sure now, because...
We do, yes.
Just because we know he's in season 2, we know he's in the new one.
Exactly. It kind of just goes without saying. As
for who the shooter is, it could be goddamn anyone at this point.
It could.
There's so
We've
many.
gone through 8 episodes, and that first one was extra long, and we have resolved absolutely nothing. We are no further as to who these things could be on a lot of the points.
Well, we know Leo's involved with Laura. We know, which by the way, because Leo kidnaps Shelley in this episode, and he's burning down the mill like he's agreed to do, but he ties up Shelley in there because he's pissed about her cheating. He's like, "Oh, you broke my heart, Shelley. What you've done to me." I'm like, we've just not 5 minutes ago we heard about you having rough sex with Laura in the woods.
Yeah, I know.
Bit hypocritical there, Leo.
I'm gonna tie you up and you can burn.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. And so that's going on. That's the thing. And obviously Leo gets presumably murdered. He looks dead to me. Hank shoots Leo because they think Leo's getting too hot in the sense that he's for the cops hot in terms of crime and being a suspect, not hot in terms of the traditional attractive sense. So Hank takes him out, which Bobby sees. Bobby sees that it was Hank.
Yes.
Because Bobby's there, because Leo's waiting behind the door with an axe for Bobby.
Yeah.
And I love how Bobby tries to slyly get his way. He's like, "Oh, I was looking for you, Leo. The cops are coming." Oh,
great.
Bobby.
And then we get the moment with the soap opera.
Yeah, where the sort of the Leo-esque character on the soap is dying at the same time. He gets shot, and he's like sliding down the door, and Leo's like, it's the last thing Leo sees as he dies. Is the
it's a nice touch, that
the representation. So hey, it's good to know that not Addicted, Invitation to Love also had a series finale. And
well,
the show,
I mean, it's a soap. They don't really have series finales. They just have the next shocking episode.
No, it's like anime. They have an off season where it's just filler for 3 months.
That's fair.
I'm surprised that even though anime does that, to be honest. Do you want to know how I know?
As well, actually.
Do you want to know how I know that? It's because when I heard that anime has filler parts of the year where it's not the main story, I scoffed and went, "That is bloody stupid. That's another reason why I never want to watch anime."
Do you know why one of the main reasons for it is, though? Because they got caught up to the manga and they have to wait for the next storyline to come out over those few months. And they're like, right, well, we'll just do something in the meantime.
Just have an off season.
I know, you'd think that. But
it's not rocket science. Just take 3 months off, and that means when it comes back, you can build up the return. You can say, look, your favourite show's back. It's not hard.
No, this is how you end up with 700 episodes of One Piece.
Aye, too many.
Far too many.
Too many for...
And I'm not against anime as Pete is. I should put that out there. But come on. Anyone that runs like a soap, I am never touching.
That's a good point, actually. Days of Our Lives, of course, one of the biggest soaps there is, got renewed for, I think it was a 52nd season this week. Because obviously I do the TV news, and I ignored that and didn't put it in the news, but I remember seeing that and going, 52nd season?
It's ludicrous. Utterly ludicrous.
Anyway.
We're way off topic here.
Yeah, we keep going off topic. Actually, Leo's dead. Lots of Hank stuff in this episode. We had that really awkward scene with Norma where he tries to kiss her, and they have this really, she's trying to be open to him, being redemptive and all that, but it doesn't work for us because we're seeing him with Jocelyn. Jocelyn paid him to kill her husband.
Yeah,
and
that was interesting.
And going to prison for the vehicle manslaughter or whatever it was just it was like, that was there to throw off the suspicion of the greater crime, which was murdering her goddamn husband for money.
Yeah, and I love that his whole thing about the 18 months. How much is that worth, hypothetically? It's like, that whole speech I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a pretty good speech. Although the only thing I'm not clear on, though, is what he actually wants from her going forward.
I thought the impression was he wanted more money there. I think that's what he's doing. He's just blackmailing her into more money, going, hey, well, I think this was worth more. You give me more money, or I will go, hey, you know that manslaughter thing? It's just covering up a murder. And she was in it, and then she'd go to prison as well.
I got that part of it. It was just, I guess just a regular income of money. It was just the way that the blood bond thing, and he's like, oh, once you're in business together, you're in business for life. I'm like, in business in what way though? But I get, if it's just like,
I think it was just an extortion racket.
Give me regular money, yeah, sure. But yeah, I like how Leo kind of became the sub boss, and Hank's the real bad guy. Like that's kind of where it's went. So
yeah, it was cool.
A lot of Hank in season 2, I'd expect. Meanwhile, Nadine, eye patch lady, Ed's wife, try to commit suicide with pills.
I'm assuming it's because her patent was rejected.
The drapes.
I honestly have no other reason why it would be.
Her drape runner. Possibly. Big Ed comes in, he's holding, he's like, don't go, which is the most he's cared about her all season, to be fair.
He spent the whole season cheating on her.
Oh dear. Elsewhere, to go back to the mill stuff, Catherine and Pete. Catherine basically manipulates Pete into helping her.
Yes.
Look for the lodger. And the ledger, rather.
I was waiting for you to say it again. I was like, just in case it was a slip of the tongue.
No, wrong syllable. It took me a second. Right, looking for the ledger, and I feel quite bad for Pete, because Pete seems like a really genuine, nice guy who doesn't...
Yeah, he has a really nice moment at the end of this storyline.
He does, actually, because Catherine gets a call telling her where it is, and it's basically to lure where the bomb that's going to set off all the fire is. Because I thought it was a bomb, it turned out just to be like a spark taking out the flames.
It was a little anticlimactic when it went off, and there was just this little flame like that big.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it, but...
Yeah,
okay.
I get it. It's meant to look like a fire started, not an explosion.
But you still got an incendiary device right there that they're going to go, hey, this wasn't a natural cause fire. This was planted here.
Hey, Leo's not that smart.
True. That's a very good point. I don't know why I'm picking it apart. It's Leo.
So we don't know. I mean, I'm going to assume Catherine and Shelley are fine, but Catherine cuts down Shelley, and they're in there. We see it's burning from the outside later on, and Pete's like, I need to go in and try and find her. She's my wife. But it looks like he's really risking stuff to go in there. So we did a lot of cliffhangers. So Cooper's been shot. Could be dead. He isn't, but that's how it ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Catherine, Pete, and Shelley are all in the burning mill.
Yeah.
Audrey and her father are awkwardly about to find out that we're going to have sex together.
Yeah. That's
the thing. James is in the police station and maybe in the jail cell, given the evidence that Bobby planted. Bobby has just witnessed Leo be killed. He's lying on the floor there. That's not much of a cliffhanger, but... Yeah. And of course, Jacoby's in hospital.
Yes.
Lying there trying to mend from a broken heart.
Pretty much. A lot went on in this episode.
And Jocelyn's been blackmailed. Yeah. And she's not as innocent as we thought she was. Not that we were completely convinced, but this is confirmed that she's definitely shady. There's shadiness going on. Oh dear. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot of stuff.
Well, it was hefty. It was just one thing after another in this episode.
It was basically just kind of capping off every plot line that we'd been having.
Here's a big thing, and here's another big thing, and you have another big thing.
Which is cool. But at the same time, because almost all of them left on cliffhangers, it very much feels like less of a finale and more of a it's a finale in the big cliffhanger sense, because some shows do that where they have big cliffhanger, but it didn't feel conclusive in that sense. Not that it should have necessarily, but I think I'm so accustomed to modern shows where they do, even if there's a cliffhanger, there'll be still kind of a
season arc thing that's wrapped up.
Yeah, and
there's no sense of resolution or satisfaction in the end of this season at all.
No, which isn't a big deal, because there's season 2, and in our case, we're going straight on to that next week, so that's fine.
It's true, and we're going to be going even faster.
Yeah, because the next one will actually be coming earlier in the week, because you still get one on the Sundays, but you'll get one midweek now too. I don't know what day yet. We'll decide. It might vary a little bit.
It depends how schedules fall with everything else that's on.
Yeah, but we'll have to fit it in. So, worst case scenario, it'll end up being like Friday and Sunday, which I don't want to do because they're too close together, but...
Annoyingly, our busiest time of week is Monday to Wednesday. Yes,
so... trying to fit it in there is kind of tough, but we'll do our best. Either way, you're getting 2 a week, starting next week. But this was the season 1 finale. So the questions we have to ask: who's the man in the mask who beat up Jacoby?
Is it the same person that shot Cooper?
Is it the same? Yeah, is it the same person that shot Cooper?
I mean, I'm assuming not, just because this show likes to have extra twists and reveals. So if you can have, why have one reveal when you can have 2?
Did Cooper see him? Was the person wearing a mask, or were they? Because they assumed they were killing him, so why would they wear a mask? They could just get away with that.
Very good point.
Lots of interesting questions. Not enough other place stuff. I was hoping the finale might have another trip to the...
Well, I'm sure we're gonna get there.
You know, the red room.
I
the
really
place.
hope we're going to get there.
I think we are.
Because it kind of feels like it's settled into normalcy after that.
Yeah, it's a false sense of normalcy. Don't
It
worry.
is, and it's still like quirky, but it's still relatively normal.
We're getting back to that. I have no worry. Mainly because I seen like a cast thing.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. We have to see something again. Is all I'm saying.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you.
But yeah, there you go. That was the Twin Peaks season 1 finale, which isn't really a finale for us because we're back next week. But let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below if you want to. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. It helps us out a lot. Get us on Twitter, mailed_fuzz for channel updates. Individual Twitters on the screen for normal everyday ramblings. And yeah, so we will get to season 2 sometime mid next week, and we will be going 2 a week from there. So this has been. I'm really glad we're watching this. I really like watching this every week. It's an exciting part of my week.
And I do think I enjoy it more with them spaced out. I mean, obviously now we're speeding up, but there's still be a few days between every time we watch an episode. I feel like I actually enjoy it more than if I just binged it because it's given me time to really digest everything, especially with there being so much going on.
Yeah, there's so many characters and plot threads, and
like I feel like if I'd binged this, I could have watched this over 2 days. These 8 episodes quite easily.
Yeah.
But I feel like I wouldn't have taken in anywhere near as much as I have done.
Yeah, and at the same time, though, I'm really glad we're not waiting like 6 months, a year, whatever it was between season 1 and 2, because I feel like I'd forget a lot of stuff if it was a big gap.
Yeah, definitely.
So that should work out really nicely. By the way, I like that the tagline in the new poster is it's happening again, is what it says at the top.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
It's exciting stuff, that. I'm really looking forward to the new one.
I'm really curious to see how the new one fares.
I'm curious to see what the premise of it is. Like, how does it, like, what causes it all?
Do you know what I'm liking as well? Is I think the new one's about the same length as Lynch was on this, because 8 episodes here, and then I think he's on like half a season 2. It's about the same.
It's about
length.
18 odd, yeah.
Oh, that's quite
Fair
interesting.
Point,
yeah. So it's almost like he had the same amount of story for this as well, and then he was done. And well, I don't know. I'm saying that without getting to that point and seeing what they do after it, but
we'll get there soon.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. We'll be back soon with more Twin Peaks. Goodbye.